Good afternoon, gentlemen. I wanted to publish an official video on YouTube and Rumble on how to ask me a question. This is because lots of men ask me questions in comments on YouTube without the least bit of consideration for me. It appears that men today are so stupid they actually think that just because they ask another man a question that there is some form of obligation for that man to answer their questions. The number of men who have tried the following, quote, "See, you can't even answer my question," end quote, is insane. Firstly, I am the most censored man in the world. YouTube censors any reply from me that is longer than 2 sentences or so. It censors any reply from me that is the least bit controversial by YouTube standards. And yet men choose to be so insanely stupid that they then blame me for not wanting to spend my time trying to bypass the censorship to answer their question. Just because you are such a nobody that you are not censored does not mean I am such a nobody that I am not censored. Gentlemen, today is the 27th of April 2025. I have answered millions of questions from tens of thousands of men over the last 17 years. Most men do not even say please when they ask me a question. Practically zero men ever say thank you when I answer their question. I have patiently answered the most stupid and idiotic questions from the most stupid and idiotic men. Men have not bothered to set even the most basic of standards when asking questions. Men have behaved worse than what was acceptable of boys in kindergarten when I was a boy. When I was a small boy in kindergarten and I wished to ask my teacher a question, I had to put up my hand and wait to be called on. I may not be called on, of course. When I asked my question, I had to say please. And when my question was answered, I had to say thank you. Here are 2 questions for all the men who hear this. Why is it that you cannot adhere to the behavior standards that I was accustomed to as a 5-year-old in 1969? What is wrong with you that you cannot even say please and thank you when you are asking for another man's time by asking him a question? Today, I am officially fed up with answering other men's questions through this censorship without so much as a please or thank you. Men, like women, have used their quota of free answers by asking me the most stupid questions time and time again. So this video represents an announcement of sorts. I shall no longer answer the questions of men. The behavior of men with respect to asking questions is almost as disgraceful as women. Men treated my time and effort not only with disrespect and disregard. Men treated my time with contempt. I have been the world's highest profile man defending the rights of men and boys for 17 years. I have risked my life. I have done jail time. I have put in $5 million of my own money. I have put in more than 15,000 hours of my own effort. I have saved the lives of many men, women, and children. I, and I alone, averted the largest planned mass shooting in the United States. I have saved the lives of countless men who wanted to commit suicide. I did all this out of the love of my heart. And even today men say to me in comment sections, quote, "Well, I never heard of you. What have you ever done for me?" End quote. They ask that question like their stupidity and ignorance is somehow my fault and not their fault. I have had my Rumble account linked to my YouTube account in my About section for 2 months now. I have reloaded almost all of my video back catalog to Rumble. Yet in the last 2 months, I have had men say, quote, "You don't have any videos on your channel. You have done nothing for me." End quote. Gentlemen, really? Men are too stupid to click on the About section of a YouTube channel to find out about the man they are talking to? Men are too stupid to click on the About section of a YouTube channel to see if it points anywhere such that they might go to that place and find out about the man they are speaking to? Gentlemen, it is my considered decision that men are simply too stupid to answer questions to. Of what value is it to a man to answer a question he puts to me if he is too stupid to find my Rumble channel? Such questions are not asked from a sincerely curious mind wishing to learn from someone as wise as me. Such questions are asked by stupid and ignorant men trying to convince themselves of the lies they believe by wasting another man's time such that he will not bother answering them. This is a tactic women use. Women use the tactic of asking questions, pretending to be sincere in wanting to learn. However, their real goal is to waste the man's time and tire him out from answering her very stupid questions so that she then declares victory when he says enough, I will not answer any more questions. If that is the victory that men wish, That I will no longer share my knowledge and time with men for their benefit at no cost? Then please do celebrate your stupidity and ignorance all you like. That other men did not chastise such men as I did. That other men did not say, "Hey, don't ask men stupid questions that you don't really want the answer to, because if you keep that up, such knowledgeable men as Peter will stop giving us the benefit of his wisdom for free. He will ask us to pay for his time, as he has every right to do." Well, gentlemen, today I arrived at that point. I am sick to death of answering men's questions through endless censorship only to be disrespected by that man who asked for my time without offering payment. The rest of you gentlemen have accepted this absolutely disgraceful behavior for 17 years. I have never seen a man chip another man for this behavior. So my 17 years of answering the questions of men freely are over. You only have yourselves to blame. The new process will be this. For a very small selection of the men of my choosing, I shall answer questions as and when I see fit on a case-by-case basis. That is both on YouTube and Rumble. For the rest of men, I shall point them to this video, and they can listen to it. Below this video will be a link to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Any man who wishes to ask me a question and whom I point to this video, you can buy me a coffee. Then you can send your question to peter@peternolan.com. You must make it clear you are asking me a question in the subject line because I get over 100 spam emails a day to that email address. In your email, to me you must quote the coffee you bought me. I am thinking that I might require the receipt number in the email, but I believe there will be so few men buying me a coffee that I will not have to worry. Then, you can put your question in the email. I will then answer your question to the tune of 5 to 10 minutes work for the answer. I will send you back the answer. And if you want to ask a second question, then you can buy me a second coffee and send me back the second question. If you, as a man, do not wish to pay me for my time in answering questions, then I suggest you go and ask Karen Strawn for the answer to your question. After all, Karen Strawn is the self-proclaimed highest-profile woman in the men's rights area. Men sent her tens of thousands of dollars over the years. Some of her videos have millions of views. Men can ask their questions of Karen Strawn. After all, I am sure Karen Strawn has all the answers to your questions like this one. How did Peter Nolan not pay alimony and child support from the court order he was given in November 2007? I am sure Karen knows the answer to that question. So, gentlemen, you have allowed your fellow men to treat me with such disrespect that I am no longer willing to save men's lives. You have allowed your fellow men to treat me with such disrespect that I am no longer willing to give you my time freely answering stupid questions from stupid men. The way that men have allowed other men to treat me over the last 17 years is an absolute disgrace on all men. It really is. Men today act like women. Men have no standards of behavior between men. It is disgusting and disgraceful when men act like women. As I said, I risked my life for other men. I did jail time for other men. I put in $5 million for other men. I saved the lives of many men, women, and children. Asked for the help I needed to save the lives of more men, women, and children. And men spat in my face figuratively. Men fell over themselves to lie about me and slander me. The vast majority of men in the West today are an absolute disgrace to their forebears. It's just disgusting how cowardly and cheap men are today. The vast majority of you don't even deserve to be called men. Men keep asking, quote, "Why are there no real men around as role models for the young men and boys?" End quote. I went public as a global role model for young men and boys in June 2008. I have been here the whole time. And very few men said as little as thank you for what I was doing. Only a very few men supported me with payments for my efforts. As a result, I am 61 and have debts around $200,000. And still men insult me. And still men sneer at me and make snarky comments like, "What have you ever done for other men?" Gentlemen, I am sick to death of your absolutely disgraceful behavior. I am sick to death of you allowing such disgraceful behavior. You men would not take my advice. So you can live without my free answers to your questions. Go ask Karen Strawn your questions and see how you go. I will talk to honest men of honor and integrity. I will set the standards for the behavior of real men. And if you don't like me setting a standard of behavior that you are too much of a woman to live up to, go and be with the women where you belong. Women love that sort of disgraceful behavior as much as they love false allegations against men. Lastly, I have published vast amounts of free materials. You are welcome to go and read and listen to all the free materials I have published. If you feel that material has value to you, please pay me the amount you feel those materials are worth to you personally. If you, personally, do not feel that my vast quantities of free materials are of any value to you at all, by all means please pay me nothing for them. Gentlemen, you are not women. Free stuff is given to women by beta brads. Men should have learned to pay for what they want when they were small boys. Apparently most men didn't learn that. When I was 7 years old, I wanted to buy a push bike to go to Sunday school. My father told me that I must go to the men in the houses who lived near us and ask them if there were any jobs around their house that they were willing to pay me to do. I used to get 10 cents for washing a car or mowing a front and back lawn. As a 7-year-old, I learned that if I wanted some money, I must offer something of value that a man with some money to pay me wanted. Today, grown men call that scamming. Offering something of value that a man might be willing to pay a fair price for is actually called scamming by many men today. That is how stupid and brain-dead men are. Well, gentlemen, you have won. You have wasted so much of my time, I am no longer willing to give you my time for free to answer your stupid womanly questions. I hope you all feel proud of yourselves that you have been able to win the war of ignorance and remain so. You men still don't even know how to not volunteer to pay alimony and child support. Such a win. And with that, I hope you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I really appreciate that. Best regards, Esther, Peter's AI assistant.